5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turntables activated. Get ready.
The most versatile hip-hop radio station in the world.
You can talk about us, but you can't talk without us. Phenomenal radio. We are what radio should be. You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think?
Holy where'd you find this?
You're locked into the #1 online radio station.
Here we go! It's not that your radio sounds strange. You just found a station that plays what you like.
Phenomenal radio.
Radio just got a lot more fun. Thanks for listening.
Phenomenal Radio, PHENOMradio.com, the most versatile hip-hop station in the world, where we take the power of the industry, put it in the hands of the independent. We've been doing this 15-plus years. I am at Slatestone Music in here with some phenomenal guests. And my brother, co-founder of Phenom Radio. Again, tap in with us on any social media platform, any search engine, hashtag 100 network, hashtag Indie Advancement. Those are our search engine optimization tools, and you can find us anywhere in the matrix. Definitely networking on and offline. Again, I'm at Slatestone Music in here with some phenomenal guests. On today, I'm going to let Dick James introduce them right now. Yo, James.
Peace and love to everybody checking in with us. Thank you for your moment. Thank you for your time and your consideration. I am Timo, otherwise known as Dick James, co-partner, co-owner to the most diverse radio station on the planet, KPTX Digital Broadcasters. And today, we have a very, very, very special guest. And she is the queen of, the hip-hop organization in Atlanta. What's the name of it, Miss Jazz?
Hip Hop Fraternity.
Absolutely. She's the queen of Atlanta and the president of the ATL chapter of the Hip Hop Fraternity. And she's also the founder of Jazzy After Dark podcast. And, she's responsible for Southern Soul really getting its grind in the heart and soul of the city of Atlanta, Georgia. So, y'all show some love for Jazzy Lee.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I like the introduction.
Absolutely. And then, of course, the reason why we're here, this is Mississippi, this family right here. And he's a Grammy nominated iTunes ringtone download song artist of the year 2008, 2009. He put that out of business. We haven't had ringtone downloads since. I mean, honestly, sincerely. And the song that he put out, The River, it has become the theme song for our Mississippi. It's a privilege to have you today. He has so many other hits. Like right now, he's #1 on the Urban Influencer music charts in the UK and currently in, the United States of America. You know what I'm saying? So today, I'd like you guys to show some love and a warm welcome for the one and only Noel Gourdin.
What's shaking, y'all? I appreciate y'all for having me.
Welcome.
Pleasure to meet you, Jazzy.
It's nice to meet you as well.
And Dick James, good to see you again, brother.
All the time, fam, all the time.
And Doc, appreciate y'all for having me.
Indeed. Well, we appreciate you, Noel and Miss Jazzy and James. Also, DJ Despair should tap in here shortly. But this is Global Audio Forensics, you know what I mean, where we dive a little bit deeper into the audio, whether it's a lecture, music, written word, poetry, it doesn't matter. We just kind of dive in and kind of break down more into the brain and the brand of the artist, the creation and development of the music, and the journey. And so, again, we appreciate your time. So with that being said, Noel, at what point in time in life did music illuminate your mind and you recognize this was the path you were going to take?
Man, being from Brockton, Massachusetts, my family's from Mississippi. So every year, my pops would stock up, start recording it on his black and gold Maxells. And those joints you could hardly see through the middle. You remember the long ones, like so he put like 3 days of music on each joint, and it was all soul music. So we would all get the convoy ready and head down south to Mississippi, man, every single summer to get with the family and hang out. Food, family fun, all of that kind of stuff, and fellowship. And that's where I fell in love with music. I was 3-4 years old, something like that. And I remember all the greats, the Solomon Burks, the Tyrone Davis, Johnny Taylor, Otis Redding, Sam Cooke, you know what I mean? Marvin Gaye, Brooke Benton, all of that old stuff, Jerry Butler. That's where I fell in love with music. And at such a young age, it just hit my heart and my spirit and my soul. And I knew that I wanted to make other people feel the way that music made me feel. Sitting in the back of Pop's old Granville, the Pontiac. And yeah, man, it was just it was kind of, that music kind of became synonymous with the South as well. Not only because a lot of the artists that made that music was from the South and, you know what I mean, and got their comeuppance in the South, but it was just something about it, man, and hanging out with Pops and just getting to love that music and how it took a hold of me, and it hasn't let go yet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's understandable. Now, when you recognize that, being with your family and taking the trips and being around so much music, you said that you recognized that you wanted to make people feel the same way. At what point did you recognize you wanted to do that through vocals, through singing, or was it production first, or was it playing an instrument? How did you know and navigate to the point that I'm going to use my voice, and I have a voice to do this?
Yeah, it was around junior high. I would say I was around 12, 13 years old where I really started practicing and started listening to other artists where I would, kind of practice on vocals with like the raspiness of an Otis Redding and the Curtis Mayfield falsetto and the Prince falsetto and, Philip Bailey falsetto. So I would practice that. But then I always said I make it dirty. And like Fresh kind of said it when I was with Sony. He was like, yo, hip hop was like, you got that slave in your voice. You know what I'm saying? So I can kind of fix my vocal cords and make it dirty, or I can make it clean. You know what I mean? Oh, or oh, you know what I mean? So I started practicing all of that. I didn't have no money. My folks didn't have no money to send me to no vocal, teachers and all of that kind of stuff. So I listened to all of the greats and kind of tried to just mimic what they were doing. So that got me to a position where I was comfortable enough to let people know that I was ready to perform and all of that kind of stuff. But to tell you the truth, I was DJing before I even started singing. I was just practicing to get my voice to where I was comfortable to let folks know that I was ready to do it. I'm a Virgo, so I'm a perfectionist, and I didn't want to come out of the cellar too quick because, what if people was like, yeah, nah, you only get that one chance to make their first impression. So that's what I wanted to do with that. But I was a DJ first. And then went from there and started, making my own tracks on the MPC with all my cousins around the way in Boston and all of that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's interesting, man. So definitely, before I pass it over to Miss Jazzy and let her ask you a question or two, and then she's going to pass it to Dick James, let us know about the DJ aspect. At what point in your life did you gravitate to DJing from hearing the music and with the family, and in junior high recognize you wanted to sing and play with your voice? When did the tables come in play?
I had I would be little and I'd be sneaking away from the kids playing upstairs when there was a house party or whatever. I'd sneak down and just be listening and seeing how the music would grab people and make people dance, and just a good time that was, relative to that music that I just love so much. At the time, my sister's boyfriend, he was a DJ and he had Technique 1200s, and I was just blown away. You know what I mean? I was just blown away. Like, look at this stuff. It's so shiny and all of that kind of stuff. And I just loved, I started digging into it. And anybody that knows me, when I start digging into something and doing research, I'm all the way in. A lot of us artists are the same way in creative folk. So I dug all the way in, man, and started looking at, equipment and all of that kind of stuff. eventually got my techniques and went searching for mixes and all that kind of stuff. I had two Fisher speakers, the woodbacks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
15-inch woofers and all of that kind of stuff, and just started going on the road. People knew that I was DJing from school and then up through high school and all that kind of stuff. So I got a bunch of house parties under my belt. But yeah, man, it was when I was young and saw other people doing it and saw how the music was making people feel. And I had been feeling that way since I was 3 and 4 years old. So in turn, it was only natural to kind of fall into DJing and then go into production and singing and so on and so forth.
Indeed, man. Definitely appreciate you sharing that with us. Miss Jazzy.
Yes.
It's on you. Do you have anything you want to ask Noel?
I do. Nice to meet you, Mr. Noel.
Pleasure.
I enjoy your music, and
Thank you.
I want to ask you about being a DJ, and I know you spin a lot of records. By being a DJ, so whether it's past or present, who influenced you in your music to get to where you are right now? Who has influenced you?
I would have to say, first and foremost, it was my pops. My pops was always playing. That just made me, all of that music that we listened to while hanging out and all of that kind of stuff was special to me. So, whenever I was hanging with Pops and I was connected to his hip, whenever he was leaving the house, I was with him. All of that good music just was a soundtrack to us hanging out. You know what I'm saying? So I would have to say my pops, my moms, and all of my aunts down in Mississippi, they had a singing group. I didn't even know this until probably 7 years ago. I was like, you could have told me about that. I had a lot of conversation pieces that I done missed out on, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they had the McGee sisters from Mississippi. They were a cappella singing group. And so I whenever we go down, I like to just bring it up and everybody's hanging out, and I'll do it, no doubt, this 4th again with all my aunts around and all of that kind of stuff. But just asking them what they did and how it made them feel to be on the road, and just going and from place to place, to church, just performing. So yeah, my mom and my family is very music oriented as well. Whatever holidays we're always playing some music and getting down, twisting the rug up and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, my family is huge, but a lot of those artists that I named before, and that's one thing I always say to new artists that's on the up and come. We know what works from the past, so do your studying. Sometimes you gotta, shut your mouth and open your ears and just listen and learn and do your research. And because things are recyclical, you know what I'm saying? They'll come back around. And but yeah, that I had to say that's where a lot of my inspiration came from.
I can relate to that, and I always tell people, I've been telling people for years, music, period, and Southern soul for me, I can say that's that feel good music. That's that music that bring people together, bring families together, and like you say, family gatherings. I can imagine how y'all family gatherings was.
Oh yeah,
everybody singing. Whether they playing instruments.
Yep, a lot of
that part. I mean? Whether it's church or
yeah.
I know the South background. And I know when families get together, baby, and we eating, and we got some good food, we got some good, we got that feel good music.
Yes, Lord.
And card games going, dominoes being played, and
it's just
gonna
real.
bust out in song.
It's
real and it's family oriented.
Yes.
And that's what music is doing today, right now. That's what Southern Soul is doing today, and that's what your music do. It bring that feel good music. Because trust me, I was listening. I was like, okay, I like this.
Appreciate it.
And I don't really share a lot of stuff, but I like I like what I like.
Thank you.
And so that's just to piggyback off what you're saying about family, and that's, I feel that's what music, that's what Southern Soul, blues, Southern Soul, whatever you want to call it, is keeping the legends alive.
And our family, being versed in all of that music, what we was talking about from the past and all of that kind of stuff. My family is kind of like my testing ground when I'm making a new record or whatever. You know what I mean? I trust them to let me know what it is. not even speaking about the producers and stuff that I'm working on the records with and all of that, because I always do that just to try to uphold that quality level. I ask them, the people that I trust, does this have legs? You know what I mean? If it doesn't have legs, let me know, because I can go back to the drawing board early. But yeah, they're my testing ground, like you said.
I like that. I like that. And so my next question for you is, so from here, and I heard that you was Grammy Award nominated.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kudos to you.
Yeah, I
Kudos.
appreciate it.
And that's a big thing.
It really
And
is.
and congratulations for
Thank you.
real. To even have that under your name, and
Appreciate it.
I know that makes your family proud. So
Yes.
with that being said, like your growth, where do
Mm-hmm.
you see yourself? And are you gonna stay in this genre, or do you see yourself collabing with other
Oh no.
artists? And when I say collabing, it could be with country, it could be with rap, it could be
Mm-hmm.
with R&B, it could be any other artist, any genre,
Yeah.
because if you look at the history of music,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, you said it's a full circle.
Right.
It
Absolutely.
is a full circle. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything is being remade, remixed,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, how do you see yourself remaking or doing or with growth in your music?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm always looking to expand and dip my toe in different genres of music, because I'm eclectic in the music that I listen to. I love old school rock. I love some rock records. I like blues. I like, you know what I mean, the Southern soul records, the trail ride. I got something cooking right now, a trail ride record. So I'm trying to.
Okay.
We got it cooking. I don't want to say who I'm working with on it right now, but we're trying to make some room for us to get a dance joint happening. So that's cooking right now. It's a trail ride feel. But yeah, I just love all kinds of different music and rubbing elbows with different artists. And I think that's the spice of the music industry. You know what I'm saying? To be able to put two people together, it might have came through a whole different journey to get where we are now. But at that intersection, we can make something special. You know what I mean? And that's what music is all about. So I'm always looking to collab with people. And yeah, I love to do different kind of music, and I would, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting in the Southern soul, because I have one of those records on my album, New Walk, New Talk, and yeah, I'm definitely trying to do that so we can talk as well. I'm always looking to do some good music with folks, man. That's what it's all about.
That's good to know. That's good to
Indeed.
know.
Big James.
Well, the conversation is stimulating and it's been organic so far. So what I would like to do is just simply change up the temperament and introduce one of those records to the audience, because they want to hear what exactly are they talking about when they say music that makes the family want to get together and fish frying and cooking and grilling and card shuffling and things of that their nature. So we
Yeah.
want to get them a taste of what we know, because we
Hmm.
experienced it and we've been knowing him and feeling his music and his movement for 9, 7, 8, 10, 15 plus years now. So
Yeah.
it's accredited, and he's not a around the block type of guy. He's world renowned. So yeah, Doc Stone, if you don't mind, let us hear some of that good music we talking about.
Indeed. Global Audio Forensics, Noel Gordon sounds something like this.
Come on. He bought a 3-pack of Red Bull and copped a room. Told me meet her at the W. Told the valet to look out, cause I'm on my way. I'll be in the old school Chevrolet. Ooh, the drop top dice hanging in the rear view. Blue antique plates on the old school. For my conversation. Told me hurry, baby, don't keep me waiting. If you play your cards right, keep your game tight, you might get lucky tonight. You see, I normally don't do this, baby, but I just might let you. Baby,
Phenomenal Radio, PhenomRadio.com, audio forensics. And I don't want to mess it up, but I might just let you.
Yeah.
Hey, man, right. I can tell, man, that's a dope record, man. I could tell the voice, the vocal range,
Appreciate it.
the quality of music is up there.
Thank you, man.
What do I want to say? Just the vibration is up there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially with the collaboration, you know, but also the frequencies.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, you know, you have those, you're in the, I'm sure everybody on here is professional. You know, you have your red line industry standards, but then you have them sonic sound quality records that meet a certain spectrum.
Yes.
That can rise to a Grammy nomination. And just listening through it through the laptop, I can hear that, man. So salute to you for that.
Appreciate
let
you.
us know a little bit about the record, and I'm gonna let Jazzy and then James talk about it.
Well, first and foremost,
I was gonna say it's a vibe.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I got to shout out Said Solo on the track, the production. He killed it. My man Frank Oliphant, CK. I worked with him on my first album after my time on the River and all of those records. So it's kind of full circle on this project. And my man Boss Brody for that record. CK hit me up and he was like, yo, I got this joint, you know, I got from Said Solo and it's crazy. It's got an ill feel. And he told me the concept that he was working on. And it's kind of, and I thought it was really cool, man. And it doesn't take itself too serious. It's like a reversal of roles. That's the way I took it. You know, a cool reversal of roles. And it was kind of like a skit from a movie to me. You know what I mean? So I just thought it was really cool and it felt good. It had a vibe like he was talking about, Doc. And yeah, man, he was like, yo, we might be able to get Kev, because I hadn't worked with Kevin Ross since my second album, Fresh to Definition. We did 3 or 4 records on that, and our chemistry was just, you know, off the Richter. So Kev's so easy to work with. And yeah, man, we just put it together. And that's one of those things, you know, I always say it, but, you know, when you envision something, and then when you get in and you finish that joint and it comes out better than you even anticipated, you know what I'm saying? That's where the magic is, man. And you know, Kev's dope and CK and Boss Brody and Said Solo, they really came through and did their part, man, and killed it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. James.
I'm gonna share something with them that only we would know, because this was only us during this period of time. 2008, 2009, when you came to North Carolina and South Carolina. When I got whimmed to you by the song, I got a request for you. I had just become the booking agent for the hottest Club Elements in Columbia, South Carolina.
Yes, Lord.
And the big, excuse me, man, the big shot up there in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And we packed both venues. I mean, they were filled with beautiful ladies, and the fellas came out too, because the record was so dope that you had to just come see who this new artist was. But on the way to Fayetteville, we had a flat tire on the truck, man, and Noel was one of the first ones to hop out the truck. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? On the fixing other tires, like, nah, bro, come on, man. It's like, nah, you come on, bro, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to do what we got to do. So it's like, wow, see,
That's right.
this is real, genuine being right here. So this is why I continue to do what I do. I was nowhere near where I am today, currently in the world of music and business. However, I was just getting my start. And once I got my start, I was able to book someone like you who was a classy gentleman then at an early age.
Appreciate that, man.
So yeah, thank you. That's why your career is gonna continue to grow. You're just
Absolutely. Thank you,
poking the
man.
bear, bro.
Yeah, I'm just me, man. I've always been just me. There's been a lot of people throughout my career that be like, you got to act like a star. I'm like,
nah.
What is acting like a star?
Right.
And you know, the people that probably no longer around me, but I used to always just pose that question back then. How does a star act? Because if it's a a-hole, that's not me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've just always been me, man. And I always will be. So that's the way I was raised. You know what I'm saying? Because in that predicament there, you know, 4 hands or 6 hands is better than 2 or 4. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's just the way I am. But I appreciate you for saying that, man. It means a lot.
Yeah, it's the truth though. It meant a lot when that happened. You know what I'm saying? We said what we said during that time, but we're still here and we still pushing forward.
Still
So
trucking.
yeah, that's a beautiful memory, and it serves as a foundation for us to continue to move forward.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Miss
Yeah,
Jazzy.
I would say continue to be humble because I can feel your energy, and I can see you're very humble.
Appreciate it.
Continue to be humble because it will
Always.
take you far. It will take you far. You said the right word. You said how does it start at? You know,
Yeah.
you do encounter, people that have risen,
Oh yeah.
and I always tell people the same people you see going up, the same people you have to see coming
That's
down.
crazy that you said that. You know who told me that? Philip Bailey.
That
I
part.
was blessed enough to ride over in the van from the hotel. This is when they moved the Essence to Houston. You remember because the ceiling fell in,
Yes.
and I was riding with Earth, Wind, and Fire. And he said that exact thing. He's like, you just never know. You know, you could be doing this, and people are doing this, and it could be the other way around. So, yeah, always been like even Uncle Charlie. We did a show together. I opened up for him at BB King in New York, and he said the same thing. We talked an hour and a half after his set,
He gives
and
great shows,
oh my
by
goodness.
the way. Yes.
Yeah, Uncle Charlie,
Great
man,
shows.
he called me the River Man, and he
Mm,
just laid it out to me, and just and
that's
I just
facts.
been it was huge. That was big for me because I was just getting into the industry, and hearing that from those greats and legends, it meant the most.
Let me
Uh,
turn this
yeah, that's
around and
facts.
hopefully y'all can see this real quick, and then I'm gonna weigh in on what he said to you, the Riverman.
Yeah,
Can y'all see that wall right there?
yes, indeed.
Yes.
So you see that man in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
Sam Cooke, and then that
Sam
man
Cooke.
to his left,
Yep.
Okay.
James Brown, and that
James
man
Brown.
to Sam Cooke's right, Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Mm,
So yeah, the Dock of the Bay.
Mm-hmm. The Dock of the
That's your
Bay.
you Sam Cooke
Yep.
reincarnated. The river is Dock of the Bay reincarnated.
Yep. 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 I just try to do, man. I just try to carry on the legacies and try to, like I said earlier, man. If I can give people a little bit of joy through what I do and make them remember me a little bit, or at least remember the record and know how they felt when they first heard it, and make them reminisce and think about happy times, or maybe, sometimes it's sad times. It is what it is. And make people hold on to certain things, man. And that's what I do this for, man, and to try to and impact somebody, and make them, kind of remember the record and remember the time they fell in love, or it's just all kinds of, everybody has their own type of thing. But I just try to do this to try to put some kind of impact on people that this music had on me when I was little. Yeah.
You're
well,
fulfilling that task, bro.
well, we definitely don't say try. You are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just like,
you're
just like,
fulfilling that task.
yes, you are doing it.
Thank you.
I had a conversation earlier along the lines of everything you just spoke about. So you are doing that. You are
Thank you.
memorable. So just understand that you have a voice that is unique, and you are rememberable. You're memorable. So you don't have to worry about
Ooh,
that.
she making me feel good. I'm about to go hit
You
the mic
you
right after this.
That's why she here, baby.
you don't have to worry about that, baby. I'm gonna tell you right now.
We gotta
You
Appreciate
have
are
a
that.
matriarch.
memorable.
We know as men in our space, we gotta have us a matriarch that represents where we come from, who we are,
Yeah, man.
the essence and the beautiful side of us as beast.
Yeah, yeah, right. Man, because a lot of
Okay.
people don't understand what a long way positive reinforcement can go. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Because a lot of the times you just hear the bad. You know what I mean? But when you hear
That's
that one
yeah.
positive reinforcement, that could take you another month. You know what I mean?
yes, sir.
And just to let you know that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and get that notoriety, and that feels good, man, to everybody.
That's why I want you to take try out your vocabulary.
I'll do that.
Do
I'm gonna
not
do that.
say that anymore because you are doing
Appreciate that,
exactly
Jazzy.
what you were called to do.
Thank you.
Your record and everything that I've heard is a vibe.
Thank you.
I forgot that I was being recorded because I'm over here jamming. You know, I'm thinking I'm listening to some music in my, I'm over here thinking I'm by myself.
That's what's up.
It's a vibe.
Thank you.
Okay, and now I understand it more because I know where you come from now.
Yeah.
I know
Right.
where you get it from. You
Right.
told me your history, your family history,
Yeah.
and that's why I say music, period,
Mm-hmm.
brings people together.
Absolutely.
It's like a glue.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter what you're going through.
Yep.
You can find music for every feeling.
It's always there. That's one thing about music. It's always there. Wherever you turn, right? You at an event, you riding in the car, you listen to music. You get to the event, you listen to music. You leaving the event, you might be in a different mood, but you're going to be listening to music. You know what I'm saying?
And it can change your mood as well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It can change your mood.
In a
I'm
second.
telling you, in a
Mm-hmm.
second.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to understand where you come from to know where you're going.
Right.
And so I enjoyed your listening to where you came from and where it started because now I see where you're going.
Cool. Yeah. That's wonderful.
Indeed. Well,
She's poetic with it.
Right. Indeed. Well, with that being said, let's jump into another record, man, and we'll come back and then hear a little bit more from you.
Well, excuse my vibe.
Global audio forensics, man, sounds something like this.
I held my breath when they dipped my head, then I came up shiny and new. Found out about love in the back of my Impala where they laid my grandfather too, down by the river. All right. Growing up, it was tough. We were glad for what little we had. I saw my share of old fair Mississippi dirt roads and Confederate flags. Every day my father would tell me, son, run and don't never come back. That's where I left my girl. That's where my heart is at. And oh, I held my breath when they dipped my head. Then I came up shiny and laid down my burden. Found out about love in the back of my Impala where they laid my grandfather too. And by the river, where black folk gather after Sunday services through. How the river runs to the ocean. I'll be running right back to you. I got along, I'm moving on. I bandaged the scars up well. I think of her, then I sit and I wait for a card or a letter in the mail. I walk the beach with the sand in my feet, place my ear up to a shell. I wonder if you miss me too, cause I've been longing to get to you. I'm sick of staring out my windowsill. I'm tired of hoping she remembers me still. I'm packing my bags, I said I'm going back home to the place where I belong. The river. And she's there when I get there. I'm never gonna leave her again. You see, she stole my heart down by the river. I held my breath when they dipped my head. Then I came up shiny and new. Hallelujah. Found out about love in the back of my Impala when I see my sins for baby. By the river, where black folk gather after Sunday services through. How the river runs to the ocean. Oh, yeah. I'll be running right back to you. So I'm packing up my suitcase. Bought me a one-way fare. I'm leaving everything behind me, but in my heart I always care. I'll still be right there.
Sing it, brother.
Hey man,
You already know this in my playlist.
that's one of my favorite songs of all
It's been in
time,
my
man.
playlist. It's been in my playlist. I'm gonna tell
That's
you
what's
right
up.
now.
That's cool.
That entire vibe,
It means a lot.
and you telling
Beautiful.
a story.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what music is. You're
Yeah.
telling a story.
Yep. Trying
If
to
you're
take you there.
listening to music the way you should listen to music, you hear that story.
Yeah.
You took me through a journey.
I love that.
I like that. You took me
Indeed.
through two journeys. Your
Mm-hmm.
grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
a
Yep.
girl you waiting on,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Come on
Yeah.
with it.
When we
You
was
took
making that
me,
record, it was crazy. After
yes.
we did that, I think we wrote it and recorded it probably in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And when we was listening back to it, um, like 3 passes in, I was like, this feels like a modern day Midnight Train to Georgia, because it
Yes.
has that feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come
And
on, Georgia. Come on,
yeah,
Georgia.
yeah,
Classics. Yeah.
yeah.
That
Just
right there will forever
yeah.
be a classic.
I like that.
That will forever. That to me, it's along the line of slick gospel. If you
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
listen, if
Mm-hmm.
you
Timeless record.
listen,
Yeah.
Timeless music.
if you listen, it's along some
Oh yeah,
slick
absolutely,
gospel.
absolutely.
You know, you talking about how they laid you. Come on,
Inspirational.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of the
and
chords in there as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that part, the
Mm-hmm.
yes, you're
Yep.
singing along with, where we used to get baptized at.
Mm-hmm. In the
On the
river.
river.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, come
Yeah.
on, come
Yep.
on,
That's
yeah,
what's up.
I'm done because
I
Where,
like
where
that.
was where was the birth of civilization?
oh,
Yep.
that part. Come on now,
Mm-hmm.
you gonna have me up here preaching because you took me there.
Beautiful.
You took me there. You when I first heard, I remember when I
Yeah.
first heard that song, I was like, ooh, where is it? I got to get this song. I
Yeah.
had to put it. I built my playlist, baby. And when I
Beautiful.
tell you that is one of my go-to.
Yeah, it's an experience. People, it kind of took on a life of its own. You know what I mean? And it like a lot of
That's what
people
music
identify
does.
with it, and it didn't matter what race they were, how old they were. You know what I mean? Different
Mm.
walks of life. It didn't matter. It just fell into that music thing, and people were able to connect with it and identify with it, and for their own reasons. And that's what the beautiful thing is about music. You know what I mean? How it crosses
Exactly.
all kinds of different lines and
Yes.
speaks to all of us in our own way. You know,
Especially good music. You know
Yes.
that's
what I
what's up.
mean?
Yeah.
Just especially that good music that can transcend all of what you said,
Yeah.
age demographics,
Right.
ethnic backgrounds,
Hmm.
experiences,
Absolutely.
groups, classes. It's just it encompasses everything. You know,
Beautiful.
the emotional side, the psychological side, the memory lane, the church,
Hmm.
baptism, family, loss of family,
Hmm.
relationships, all that. You know what I mean? Just
Yep. Well said.
it's a
Well
dope
said.
record.
The wide spectrum. Yeah.
Epic.
He just summed it up
Hmm.
because really that took me back to growing up in
A
the
little
country
child.
Hmm.
of
Damn right.
South
Come on now.
Georgia
And then he
with my
said
grandparents.
Mississippi.
Hmm.
And
It's
he
like, come
said,
on.
yes. And we the same, trust me.
Hmm.
Where my family
It's the
from,
coastline.
Hmm.
the country, baby, we the same.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm from Atlanta, but my mom and my daddy from the countries of
Hmm.
That's
South
right.
Georgia.
That's
Yep.
right.
And when you talked about where they laid your grandfather, man,
Hmm.
you took me back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
took me back.
We talking about no streets. It's roads.
Right. Dirt
Dirt roads,
roads.
Right.
dirt
Rock
roads. And
roads.
my papa
Yep.
had a Cadillac. He didn't care about
Hmm.
them rocks hitting that
Yep.
Cadillac, baby. He didn't care.
Dirt road and ditches, baby.
That part,
Hmm.
that song resonate. And he said it, it it just takes you back to your
Hmm.
childhood or
Yeah.
wherever you were when you're listening to the words,
Mm-hmm.
not just the melody, not just the music.
Yeah.
All that's gonna come together. All that's, it comes together. It's a seasoning,
Yeah.
But the words, they
I
hit.
love how you said you remember when you first heard it too. So it's like you remember where you were. You know what I mean?
I
And
remember,
that's that special seasoning to me.
and it gave me that memory.
That means a
It's a
lot.
reawakening, and it helps people recall because still, we've been in the background since we've been on the Urban Influencer, attempting to get you down here in the market on these festivals.
Yeah.
And sometimes people be in the background with their minds already made up, and
Hmm.
then they go and hear this record. But it's
Hmm.
hard for them to recall the artist because Epic dropped the ball.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
But
saying? It's like
yeah,
Epic. Come on, Epic may have done that intentionally. I don't want to point nobody out because
yeah,
you would have been the biggest,
yeah,
the largest, simply just by that record alone. And I
yeah,
believe that was a part of the problem. They knew this, and they actually didn't know exactly how to market you because you was like Michael Jackson. You was like
yeah. We,
Brandy and them when they got on the label. You
it's crazy.
superseded expectations.
It's crazy, and this is a huge shout out to Billy Woodruff. He did the video. We shot the video downtown L.A. But Forrest Whitaker wanted to shoot a video to that joint, and it was coming in under budget, all of that kind of stuff. He sent his treatment and everything,
I
and
need you in Atlanta.
yeah, we wanted to be in the South, so that's
I
where it was. It was deep South. He sent us the treatment and all of that, and we loved it. But for whatever reason and all of that kind of stuff. But you know what? I don't even look back, man. You know what I mean?
Wherever somebody dropped the ball, honey, somebody can pick it up.
That's why
Yeah,
you where you at
absolutely.
now.
So I'm just trying to cook, the best meals, the best musical meals that I can. And
We gonna take try out the
yeah,
vocabulary.
I'm just saying
You
that's what I
are.
do. Yeah.
You
So I
are.
just make this music and try to make people smile and make people smile and just keep cooking.
There it
You
is. That's
know,
the recipe.
You
Consistency.
doing it. You
yeah,
doing it.
yeah, man. And then sometimes, not that you're saying this, but what I've learned, and I also learned this from a sister that was saying, every loss or every not failure or when it
Hmm.
doesn't go the way you want to
Hmm.
should be looked at as a redirection or a protection.
Hmm.
Growth
You know what I
spurts.
mean? So, you at where you supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You could
You
have
don't.
been just from him, and
Mm,
this is new to me. I don't know the in depths of your history.
Hmm.
And that's not intentional or condescending of the greatness you've done, but you could have been up there with the magnitude of Michael Jackson and them, like he said. But there was something in your path that the universe knew
Yeah.
and allowed those things to play out that way
All
to
right.
have you where you at on this path for whatever reason it is. So,
I know exactly what you're saying. And yeah, probably.
Yeah,
well,
to
Yeah, yeah,
maintain
yeah.
the management of self and intellectual creativity and ability to continue to do that with choice and freedom. Because this is the disruption of what it was with the old power structure and the
Hmm.
labels to where it's supposed to be in the hands of the divine creators. That's us.
Hmm. But
that
I got to tell
part.
you, I met a lot of incredible people, even at Sony with Epic and all of that kind of stuff. And Chad Elliott and Quan Prather, they all looked out for me. Lisa Ellis, all of those folks. Marvin Mack, I met my manager. He was working the records at the time, and he just happened to become my manager a few years later. And we've been together ever since. He just works tirelessly, and big shout out to Marvin Mack and along the way, to where I'm at right now, releasing this fourth studio album. You know what I mean? Back to Basics, Volume 1. So I love where I'm at. I love where I'm at, working with some incredibly talented people and the growth and my learning process and what I've been through, what we were talking about. I just try to take it all in and push it all out in a healthy way, put it on these tracks, you know what I mean? And make people feel good.
You're doing
Well,
an outstanding job, bro.
you are, and I was listening to Big Gipp and Sky Watley on the podcast today, and what Big Gipp said was that was profound to me. I already knew, but yes, he said, Goody Mob own all their rights,
Hmm.
Hmm.
you know, If they would have went with, a label or whatever, they
Mm-hmm.
would be on the platform of Diddy or,
Mm-hmm.
up there, whatever. But guess what? They got up there by themselves.
Yeah, yeah. I know that whole
And
organized noise crew. They're all of them.
exactly,
Yeah, they knew what they were doing,
exactly.
and yeah, Outkast and all of that, and Goody and all of them.
And
I
now they
listen
will
to them
be
religiously.
inducted.
Hmm.
Outkast will be inducted in the Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll
Yeah, it's
Hall of
wonderful. It's
Fame.
wonderful.
So you have to understand sometimes God will take you off a path that you thought was meant for you,
Yep.
but guess what? It probably wasn't.
Right. Yep.
That's why he intervened.
Yep. Southern playlist,
Hey,
Cadillac,
come
funky
on.
music.
A
You play
remix,
as if
remake.
you choose it. Gotta make sure you
Don't
don't
make me get
abuse
me
it.
hey
We're
big
gonna
get on
get
the
you
phone. Yeah.
Woo.
Southern
Come on, A
Playalistics.
Yo,
Town.
they
You
was
did
Watching with
that.
the
stupid with it, yo.
Mystics. Yeah,
Man, I
we
used to rock that music until the words come off of that tape and CD. Word
You
up.
did that.
That
Yes.
was my
right.
joint.
Yeah.
May
Man,
look,
listen.
you make sure we link because I
Oh,
want to link you
definitely.
with some people.
That's what's up. Oh, we definitely gonna link. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That's
talking about the people you were just talking about. You know what
it's
I
only
mean?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Sounds good.
I'm
Most
just
definitely.
saying. You
Yeah,
never know
definitely.
why God took you out that path, honey.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you
Absolutely.
that now, because
I
you are
love it.
talented
Thank you. I love
and
it.
very
Way above average.
that part. I can't even find the words,
And the
but yeah,
mindset and the character. Come on.
Appreciate that. That means a lot, man. It
yeah.
really
That's
does.
where it's at. That's where the money in the business is at.
You
Everybody's
got to
got
want to be,
talent.
yeah, but everybody has talent, but you have to want to work with these artists. You have to
Right.
be workable. Like you have to,
Right.
people have to want to work with you,
Mm-hmm.
you
Absolutely.
know?
Yeah.
And you've been
That's
in
a
the
huge
game
part.
for a while, but you get what I'm saying, though.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
And you're your energy, you're very humble.
Thank you.
You come from humble beginnings, I could tell,
Mm-hmm.
just by the way you spoke about your upbringing.
Oh yeah. Sleeping in cars, sleeping in a cold studio with a space heater,
What
asking
I
people for
say,
$2 here and there. You know what I mean?
mm,
It
the
was it
last
was
$2.
it was rough. Yeah, the
You know
last
what I'm
$2,
saying?
like
Come
Johnny
The
on.
Taylor said.
last $2.
Yep.
I'm respecting that more and more and more and more as I continue to grow and learn and develop within this Southern soul thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
It
wasn't
wholeheartedly.
is
easy.
a
It wasn't easy,
story.
but I remember it and I treasure those memories, man. And Chad Elliott said that too. He was like, remember these times, because he was like, you're gonna want them back. I was like, all of that struggle, but he was like, it was so black and white then though.
Yeah,
You was looking for this, and now it's all kinds of different variables. You know what I mean? That
yeah.
comes into
Yes.
play. But when it's like this and you got a blinder and you're looking for them steps, it's black and white. So he was right. He was right.
And
Aside from all of the struggle, which is, what's a beautiful thing, because I don't take anything for granted. You know?
mm,
Yeah,
And what greatness is formed through our struggle.
that's true. And what I like
absolutely.
what you just said, um, when people take the blinders off, what I enjoy is watching people like Boosie,
Mm-hmm.
Boosie Badass,
Yeah.
you know, Boosie Blues.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now,
Yeah.
you know, Big Gilt and
Mm-hmm.
Sky Watley,
Yep.
Auntie Love. You're getting the artists these
We
hardcore. I've literally talked to artists, rappers,
Mm-hmm.
in the A. And I asked them, would you, if someone approached you and asked you, would you do a remix or get on a Southern Soul album
Mm-hmm.
or a song or R&B song? Would you do it?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody said yes.
Mm-hmm.
These
Yeah.
are legends in
Yeah, yeah.
Atlanta.
Because that's the spice.
Everybody said yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's what you said, but you mentioned blinders. When people take the blinders off and
Mm-hmm.
get out their own way and get
Mm-hmm.
and let's, you know, hey, y'all, let me cross on over here, you
Right.
know. And
Yeah.
I love what Big Gift said today on the podcast. He talked about, you know, Southern soul not being saturated yet
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
all the other genres.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why he's enjoying it, and that's what made him, you know, want to cross over and see what Cuz doing over there, which is Sky Wiley.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy listening to that because he's not he's correct.
Mm-hmm.
He's correct, and you are correct. You're saying what
Absolutely.
he said. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when you take them blinders off and get out your own way and say, you know what, let me test this over here and see how this work out.
Yeah. Because
And
at the
now
end of the
it's
day, it's
bringing
music. It's
everybody.
feel. It's feel it. It's raw. It's real.
Yes,
And that's what we do. We
it,
adapt, and
exactly.
we can do this. We can do this.
As
It's
long as it's good
yeah.
music.
It's what comes to us. You know what I mean? Um, not even talking about culture vultures, but all of that kind of stuff. But this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do.
Yes.
We create and we make magic. We make magic. A lot of people don't even understand what we do when we go in and we're creative. When you're putting a talk track over something, Dick James and
Yes,
Doc,
sir.
when you editing up and putting certain things like that intro is stupid. Y'all intro is dope. But that creative process, a lot of people don't understand it until they sit down with you and watch you do what you do,
Right.
and they're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what we do, man. We make magic and we make people feel things, and that is powerful. And
It
yeah,
is.
I love what you said. Yeah, what Gip said, man. That's what it's all about. It's what we do. We come together and we
Yeah.
make magic.
All the
And
time.
Right.
that's how you leave your mark.
No
That's
doubt.
how you
Absolutely.
that's how you leave your mark. How Goody Mob left their mark with you. That's how
Right.
you left your mark
With the rest
with
of us.
me.
Dope.
That's how you left your mark with me.
I like that.
So most definitely, man, I want to say thanks again for sharing your time, your history, some jewels, your music, your path with us. Before we go out on this next record, man, or brother, I don't mean that, condescending. Let
No.
everybody know what you got going on, where they need to tap in with you at, where you traveling
Mhm.
to. Let them know all that good stuff, man.
Well, I got some dates coming up. I got some Martha's Vineyard dates in Massachusetts. I got something cooking up in Chicago, a couple other states, Washington. So I'll be posting those dates on my socials. And you can check out my website, www.noelgordinmusic.com. And check me out on my website and check out my album, Back to Basics, Volume 1. And I got to send a huge shout out, of course, to my management, Marv Mack, and all of the people that did most of that. I call them the TKC, the tight knit crew, that did the chunk of my album, which is Lorenzo Johnson, Kanita Rogers, Marquise Green, and all the people that had hands in making the record. I'd let you hit it. CK, my man Frank Oliphant, Boss Brody, and Said Solo. I appreciate all of y'all, everybody that worked on in the print side of everything. I appreciate y'all, Wendy, everybody that threw down and did the miraculous work that there's no way that I can even think about doing the techie stuff. I'm just lost when it comes to that stuff. But I appreciate everybody that had a hand in making this project go.
Indeed. Miss Jazz, you got anything to say before we sign off? Then James, you can close it out and we'll end with the record.
No, I think I've said enough. I know I said enough. I know
Well, I
I
love
said
your
enough.
words, Jazzy. We gonna link up with it. Even if I'd love to do a couple of records, that would be dope.
Hey, we gonna link up. That's
Yeah,
all I got
we
to
gonna
say.
get it. Yep.
Hey, I like the network, and you already made an impression on me way back when I first heard that song. So I'm gonna let
Beautiful.
you know right now, and then everything you spoke about, you're very knowledgeable. I can appreciate that. You know what you're talking about. You know what type of feeling that you want to bring to people and to the world. And I do want to leave with this, and I think it's funny. I read a meme where they said, the world is coming to an end. We
Mhm.
about to hit World War III,
Mhm.
and all we see black people doing, or people of color, black and brown people doing, is having fun,
Mhm.
going on trail rides, line dancing,
Mhm.
and it was a real meme.
Mhm.
Well, look, what have we always done? In times of trouble, we've always partied.
Mhm.
Because the trouble is there. We
Yep.
know where to go to for our help.
Right.
Okay, so the trouble has always been there for us black and brown people.
Always.
So
It ain't
we've
nothing new.
always,
It's nothing new.
it's nothing new up
Mhm.
under the sun.
Yeah.
Okay, and so where we are in the world, and what our president is, the choices that he's making,
Yeah. Yeah.
we can't change that. But
Nah.
guess what? We can still live, and
Mhm.
we can still have a smile on our face,
Yep.
because tomorrow isn't promised,
No.
but today is, and we
We
can
gon'
live for today,
and
and
we
we're
gonna
gonna
set the
party,
pace.
and we're gonna cook out. And if we had, look, back in the day, if they need help paying, your friend down the street need help paying their rent, what they do, they had rent parties.
That's right.
And then they had their rent, and people came and they ate good and brought food, and they partied and mixed and mingled, and they communicated with each other.
Mhm.
Not social media. It
Yep.
was communication in person. That's
Hence
what
one of the
music
records.
does.
Hence one of the records off my album Back to Basics Volume 1 is called Celebration. And it's just
Mm,
celebrating every little moment that we get, because we never know when it's going to be the last. And
that part.
everybody's paradise isn't the same. So it's all, it's all a matter of perspective. You know what I
So
mean? And
yes,
subjective. So yeah. So,
yes. So
so y'all
yes, we
check
out
that
here
out.
living.
Celebration.
Yes,
We
we
celebrating.
celebrating.
And that's what it's
That
about. Yeah.
we are celebrating
Hmm.
life, baby, because hey, we didn't make this world. What Tupac say? Look, it is what it is. We
Hmm.
in it. We living in it.
Yep.
But we gonna party, and we gonna
That's
have our
right.
trail rides, and we gonna listen to that good old music.
And we gonna set
And
the
it
pace,
bring
baby.
and listen, it's getting aunties and uncles and grandma, grandpa, and the
Hmm.
kids, all of them together, learning them line dances and
That's right.
learning just the songs. And it don't matter if it's southern soul, it don't matter if it's rap
No, it
country.
doesn't matter at
It
all.
doesn't it doesn't matter. It's bringing all of us together
Together.
with our family and friends.
Hmm.
And no matter what's going on in the world, in our life, but we have music as a common ground.
That's right.
So that's what I want to end
Put
with.
parentheses around everything she just said.
That part. And that's that jazzy vibe.
That's right. That's right.
James.
Peace, love, and light. It's been a pleasure. May your
Always, man.
God continue to keep you and bless you. And love and light. See you soon.
Appreciate you. Absolutely.
Peace and
Absolutely.
blessing.
Appreciate
One love.
y'all.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You see, something ain't right. I got this feeling, y'all, deep down in my bones. My baby been acting strange and ain't never home. No, she gets these calls all night, then runs to the next room. I can't take this much more, cause I'm left to assume my baby got a new walk, got a whole new attitude. Could be out there creeping, gotta keep both eyes on you. A new talk, got a brand new attitude. Could be out there creeping, cause that's just what I would do. Can't stand the thought, sweet baby, of sharing you. Can't be around you no more Oh yeah, a new talk. Got a brand new attitude. Where did this come from? I've been creeping on. That's what I would do. Dum, 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 dum. You're out running around. When now I'm at home waiting for you, and you know where to be seen, at least not by me. Gallivanting, our plane, hurting me, baby, please, come back to me, baby, baby, baby.
The most versatile hip hop radio station in the world. Phenomenal Radio.